That's us, mate. We are recording. We're
And we're
live.
off.
Yoo-hoo!
Good evening.
Finally.
Yeah.
Better
Fucking
late than never.
good evening, sensation seekers everywhere.
Exactly. And we've called this Just For The Craic. Well, you kind of named it. It was my idea. You picked the name. When I came up with the list, this is one that you liked. So it's a team effort. Both named it.
Yeah. Team effort
Don't
on the
know who the
front.
fuck. I don't know who the fuck's going to listen to this or what's going to happen with it, but I think it'll be good crack.
It sounds like
So
we
yeah, we
start.
should.
Yeah, it sounds like we started off just at fucking passing blame to each other. This is the podcast name, but you named it. It's your fault.
Yeah, pretty much. That's where it's going. So we should probably put out some sort of disclaimer from the start because we're not even a minute in that this will probably be not very politically correct in any way, shape, or form, and we'll probably say a lot of things that will offend a lot of people. And we're not nasty people, we're not fucking horrible, we don't say anything with malice, but we will probably say things that people get fucking their knickers in a knot about.
Yeah.
So if you're easily offended, fuck right off, because I can't stand that bullshit. See people who get offended by other people's words. You need to give your fucking head a wobble.
Yeah, no, it's like being offended, subjective. It's like offense is always taken, it's never given.
Exactly. So that's why when we were talking on the phone, we got all the fucking talk about war and Nazis and shit like that out of the road before we record this. So there we go. We can talk about it because we've been fucking talking about this for ages.
Yeah, it was always like, let's do a podcast. Let's do it.
Well, it kind of started, I suppose, like when we went down the now like infamous trip to Dublin to see
35
Slayer.
euro. 35 euro for a t shirt.
And there we go, we're about bang on 2 minutes in, and we have probably offended the Irish by doing their accent. So we're
That'll
off
be
to a good
fine.
start. They'll be grand, they're a hardy bunch, so they are.
Yeah.
They eat their spuds and they'll be grand.
There's many regional
So
dialects, so at least we've only offended one portion of them.
that's not bad, mate. So far, so good.
Yeah.
Just wait till we're only 2 minutes in. There's still plenty of other people to offend. So yeah, after the infamous trip, it was such a laugh, and it's like, mate, see if that was recorded, that would be fucking hilarious. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's what we've got. That kind of inspired this. And then we were supposed to do this at the weekend. Mate, what was up with you at the weekend? Because we were supposed to come on at like 8:30, and I messaged you at like 20 to 9. Being, I tried calling you, didn't get an answer. You're like, oh mate, I'm busy. I'm like, yeah, no worries, mate. Give us a shout when you're free. And you're like, yeah, mate, I'll be free about 12:30. It's like, mate, it's not even fucking 9 o'clock. What were you at?
Oh yeah. Like the chaps give me a shout and WhatsApp and had a video call, which kind of lasted. I thought it was gonna be like the usual half an hour catch up, and then Kernsy's like, my kid's screaming, I have to go to bed now. Rand's like, I'm away, and then Ricky's like, I'm away to read up on gonorrhea or whatever he does. And it just kinda got out of hand really.
So, well, fuck, now it's just questions about gonorrhea, to be honest. That's fair enough.
Yeah.
I don't know. I thought you're maybe, I don't know, maybe some fucking bird off Tinder in your way to get your hole or something like that. I'm like, fair enough. But it was just, it wasn't even, it was like 8:45, and you're like, I might be free about 12:30. And I'm like, right, well, I don't know whether I have the beer to take me up to 12:30, so I rationed the beer. I watched, mate, I got watching the rest of Devil's Rejects because you fucking interrupted me watching it the other day to depress the life out of me about lockdown.
That was a
Mate,
public fucking
I'd seen
service
the movie
announcement.
before, but it was a fuck. It pretty much was.
Yeah.
It actually was a public service announcement. But
Uh-huh.
mate, I'd seen it before, like a lot of years ago. That has to be one of the greatest movies for music ever.
Yeah, I had the soundtrack on CD, but I've never actually seen it.
Good show, mate. It's well worth a watch. Like it's fucking just violent, really. It's not. It's not like kind of horror. Like it's just violent. They're just serial killers. But mate, song in the very first scene is Allman Brothers' "Midnight Rider." Last song in the last scene, Leonard Skinner "Freebird." That alone, your first scene's the Allman Brothers, your last scene is Leonard Skinner. That alone is just fucking. That's pretty fucking good in my books. I suppose because Rob Zombie's directing it, so he's like, mate, I know my fucking music.
Yeah. I don't know. Freebird's very overrated in my opinion. Like the song.
Right, well, we can just end this podcast right now. We're no longer friends. Man, Freebird is such a song.
Yeah,
Granted, the solo's more just long,
Yeah, the big
than
solo jammy bit's
anything.
amazing.
Oh, like the solo is great because it's like fucking 4 minutes, but like it's technically
Yeah.
it's it's the one position just played over and over again. Like it's really there's really not that much to it. You don't need to be a fucking guitar wizard to be able to play it. It's not that impressive.
But
It's just
simplicity
fucking
works, mate.
long.
Like, look at
But
all
mate,
the
it's
simple
a
things like the Kinks and Black Sabbath and all. It was just like actually quite simple fucking things to play, but it was just amazing. Like Freebird, the only way to describe it is like being the shit. So going out your back door, going out the back door, walking around your house, come back in the front door and up the stairs. It's just like prolonging, getting the lube bit. You know,
all right. No, man, it's fucking. No, I think lyrically, it's a great song. The slide guitar in it. But yeah, but you notice that with music, how it's become like more and more just like fucking showy offy. Do you know what I mean? Like if a band was to come out now and play Smoke in the Water, people will be going, "What the fuck is that? There's nothing to it." And I go, "Yeah, but that's the genius bit to it. There's nothing to it. It's not fucking complicated. Everything has to be so fucking fancy."
yeah, it's like everything. It's like simplicity works, man. It's even like cooking. It's like you can get the geniuses who do it, and they can take like three things, put it on a plate, and people's like, "Fucking hell, that's amazing!" Like, man, it's three things on a plate.
Yeah. Well, you actually bringing up cooking kind of reminds me. We actually really haven't introduced the podcast other than that it might get a bit offensive at some point, which it probably will. So yeah, I just want to be just a bit of laugh, just a bit of a crack, and just
Yeah,
kind of sit down, have a few beers like we are currently, and yeah, just have a laugh and just talk shit. So kind of make it like a kind of I don't know, like Father Ted meets South Park meets Motorhead meets Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas kind of thing. So just a wee bit
good book
fucking
that, mate.
random. What's that?
Good book that.
I haven't read the book, mate. I've seen the movie, and it is epic. I think the first time I watched it for the first time properly not that long ago. First time I watched it, I think was like at Ryan's old place at like 2 o'clock in the morning, pretty shit faced, and I didn't recall a great deal of it. I watched it like start to finish there about a month ago, and it is fucking epic. It is a very simple premise. It's two blokes who go to Las Vegas and do a lot of drugs, which I can get behind that.
Yeah, it sounds like a good fucking holiday, that. I buy into it.
Yeah, yeah. Fucking sounds like a good idea to be perfectly honest. And if you've ever been to Vegas, that's just what a lot of it is. It's just walking around, people off their faces on stuff.
Yeah. Been to Amsterdam once. That was fun. Well, I've actually been to Amsterdam many times.
Mate, never been as an adult. Went on a school trip. So we went to fucking Anne
What
Frank's house
fucking
and all
school
that.
did you go to? Where you go to Amsterdam on a school trip?
Yeah, mate, like 10 years old, going to Amsterdam.
Yeah. Mate, we got a week
Brilliant.
living like refugees in a fucking tent in Canaway near Milan. And thought we were the fucking bee's knees.
No, mate, we went to fucking Amsterdam in P7. So we did.
Get you in your fucking fancy skills.
It wasn't that fancy, man.
Yeah.
So that was the highlight. It went seriously downhill after that. That was our P7 trip. It was going to Amsterdam and not seeing or doing anything that other people who go to Amsterdam do. We saw tulips and we saw how cheese is made.
So that's actually quite good.
It was no hookers, but we were 10, so that's understandable.
Yeah. It's not fucking Cambodia, mate. It's not fucking holiday travels with glitter and sable. No one wants to make that fucking TV show like.
No. Well, be interesting to take part in if you're 10 years old.
Yeah. And what's next in the thing? What's next in the thing, children? Oh, it's this evening we're having didgeridoo lessons for Ralph Harris and fucking Stuart Hall hosting a fucking quiz. Fuck off, man. I'm just gonna stay here. Yeah.
Do you know what? See the whole time that was coming up, I'm like, there's going to be some fucking reference in this. And I had a feeling as soon as you mentioned didgeridoo, I went, it's going to be Rolf Harris, isn't it?
Yeah.
Do you know what was one of Ryan's? I think it was Ryan's uncle called that like years ago.
He called fucking that constable like fucking wronging.
Was it? I can't remember. It was one. It was like Ryan. I remember Ryan. I was like, my uncle. His uncle told him that like years ago. It was when see Rolf Harris, paedophile, telling you. So that also mean that got me and Ryan started playing the game is let's predict the pedo. Was we were just sitting having beers and guessing who was going to be the next pedophile. Like
That's actually
scandal.
that's actually quite a
Both of
good
us
band
had
of film,
decent
mate.
mate, both of us had decent money on the Chuckle Brothers.
Mate, I seen a man in the Donald the other day looks like Barry Chuckle. Like, fuck it. I keep wanting to try and like creep shot it and take a photo of him on my phone. But I'm like, I'm kind of frightened to do this. Like the world's shittest tranny. I want to take a photo of him as well.
I was about to say, man, that obviously wasn't going to take long to come up. You see all sorts about, you've Barry Chuckle, you've shit transvestites. If you're going to be a transvestite, make the fucking effort. You know,
Uh,
don't just dress as a fucking woman and walk down the street. Put a wee bit of effort in. Like, see in Thailand, they don't fuck about. They put some serious effort into trying to look like a woman. They don't just put on a fucking
yeah,
pair of knee-high boots and a fucking furry coat and call themselves a chick.
I know. It's like what
They go,
constitutes as a fucking or transvestite over here. It's just like tuck your bollocks between your legs and put on a skirt. Fuck the 5 o'clock shadow and the Adam's apple. Fucking people would notice.
damn it, you play it off. Just talk highly. I still can't believe how Monty Python called that in Life of Brian in like what the 70s. They were like bang on with the whole I want to be called Loretta. I want to have kids. It's like you can't
Oh.
have kids. Doesn't have a womb. It's my right as a man to have kids if I want them.
I
It's
fucking
like
love that film.
and they called it this is like mid 70s and they hit the nail on the head and it's like right will protest for his right to have kids. Like, what's the point? He can't
Oh,
have them. It's like, right, he can't have kids. It's not his fault. It's not even the Romans' fault, but he can have the right to have them.
what's that cracking line John Cleese's character hits? Where the lead
Oh,
up to it's a grasp or something, and he's just like, I his grasp on fucking reality.
that's what it is. It's grasping reality.
Eh.
Man, yeah, Python were fucking brilliant. So they
Oh,
were. Some of it's a bit
film,
weird.
greatest film in the world, man. Well, at
But
least up there.
if someone had to say, like, what is your all-time favorite movie, I'd probably have to say Life of Brian.
Yeah. It's that bit where like he starts to on about like, are you the People's Front of Judea? Fuck off. We're the Judean People's Front. People's Front of
Man,
Judea.
that is outstanding. It's the bit when he lands in the hermit's fit. I haven't spoken in 12 years. Like, if you just keep your voice down, just keep my voice down. I haven't said a single word in 12 years. And you come in and jump on my foot. Now you want me to keep my voice down?
Yeah. No, I
Oh,
love
man.
the crucifixion scene, man. That's the one that got me out of the chair. Like,
Man, do you know what? That, the Holy Grail and Blazing Saddles got me through, like, my last couple of years in school. One of my best mates in school, Connor, we were both obsessed with those movies and we would just sit in classes and just talk about these movies that we just seen, just basically like those three, and we just sit like in the back of history and just talk about like the Holy Grail.
I've never seen
Man,
Blades and Saddles. Blades and Saddles. Blades and Saddles, man.
mate, that's right, because lockdowns fucked us. We were supposed to do our fucking beers and blazing saddles because I think that would be quality. I can't believe you've never seen it. Gene Wilder's outstanding on it, but it has to be. It's like when people talk about, oh, you couldn't make that movie nowadays. You really, really couldn't make that movie now. It has to be probably the most comically funny racist movie ever by a mile.
Yeah.
Like you can't say half the stuff that's in it now.
Oh,
People would lose their shit if that came out now.
Gene Wilder was in that fucking horror film I watched recently.
You nearly made me spit the beer out. Yeah, that's man. I can't believe we've been mates for nearly 10 years, and it takes us driving down to Dublin, and you're like, mate, I have this just pathological fear of midgets. I near crashed the car, mate. You can't tell me that when I'm doing like 70 miles an hour.
Fuck off. You were doing 90. I watched you. You were speeding. That's it. I'm out. Yeah, I'm like Frank Mitchell in his fucking Police 6 program.
Do you know what? I was thinking about that there. I was like, when I was doing like 100, I'm like, can I say I was doing 100?
Yeah.
Ah, well, prove it. So, I mean, I can't believe we've known each other that long, and I never knew that you had an actual fear of midgets. And I kind of thought it was funny at first, But mate, that has to be one of the greatest. For a start, that trip was just outstanding. It was like one of the funniest days of my life, probably the funniest day of my life. But see, sitting outside eating our sausage rolls the next morning,
Yeah, like
and
two
out of the
homeless
corner,
people.
we looked especially because we were a wee bit like hungover. We looked incredibly homeless, more so than we normally look. But
Yeah,
mate, I just catch you freeze out of the corner of my eye. You just stop dead, and I'm like, what the fuck's up with him? I met these two midgets walk past and I just pissed myself laughing. But I kept thinking, people think, what a sick bastard, he's laughing at two midgets. I'm like, I'm not laughing at them, I'm laughing at you that you're petrified of them. Let's have visions of them walking past and I'm laughing, being like fucking normal sized dickhead.
yeah. I know. Look at them two fucking. Look at that big tall cunt like sitting there. Fucking just teen reads things in the top shelf. Thinks he's fucking bigger than everyone. Like technically, mate, I am. Which also leads me to the next question. If a midget says, "Does your hair smell nice?" does it constitute sexual harassment? You know. And there we go. What are we? 16 minutes in, and we've offended all sorts of people.
I mean, it's not too bad. It's not too bad, especially with Blazing Saddles. There's a lot of words that we had to dodge there, like a lot.
Yeah.
So we're going not too bad. We're going not too bad.
I like to
That's it,
think
people.
someone's going to stumble across this podcast at some point and they'll just be like in the comment section, what an enjoyable podcast until you descended into the story about the dwarfs. I myself am 6'4" and proud to be a member of the Tall Dwarfs Association. What a pity you had to descend there. Also, I do impressions of chocolate biscuits if you're stuck. Like, that's
But
what
man,
them people get
that,
up to.
but man, that's the thing, right? See, when people talk about getting offended, how many people get offended on other people's behalf? Do you know what I mean? How many people who are offended about something actually fall under that category? People like get offended
Oh, I've
on
offended
behalf of.
many of people.
Yeah, it's like people go, you said something that offends this group of people. I'm not part of that group of people, but I am offended on their behalf. It's like, fuck off. It's got nothing to do with you. Just fuck up and move on. I
I
don't
went
get it.
to like a mate of Bran's house. A mate of Bran, I went to their house one night with them. We were having beers, and I walked in and was incredibly fucking high at this point. And within 10 minutes of meeting her, told her daughter freaked me out because she reminded me of Figo the Carpathian from Ghostbusters. And I had never met her before. But in my defense, the fucking kid did look like Figo the Carpathian. I should also add a disclaimer that I was very, very high at the time when I said this.
Oh, that's also Ghostbusters too, if you want to get technical. And I still, you mentioned Ryan, I still can't get over the whole thing with Travis being obsessed with the Ghostbusters. I don't even know whether we can talk about that on this.
No,
We
no,
probably can't.
we'll leave that one.
Yeah, that's too much of a racial, we'll swerve that one. It is still funny though, how kids know.
The innocence of 4 year olds. Sometimes in my mind, I'm still like 4. Like, I'll say,
Pretty
like,
much,
oh,
pretty much, mate. Like,
fuck.
I have the mentality of a 5 year old. I
Oh,
just
fuck, I
drink and
haven't told you
swear.
about New Haircut, have I?
Did you whack it all off?
Oh, mate, I look like Sinead O'Connor. I've like fulfilled a lifelong ambition. I'll like whack a selfie and like fucking send you it, mate.
You look like Sinead O'Connor.
I do, mate. I
So what?
fulfilled a lifelong ambition to finally look like Sinead O'Connor. To the point of, I walked into work and one of my friends who works in a deli just looked at me and just started singing nothing compares to you. And I'm like,
Mate, she's fucking mental, like, so she is. Like,
ah,
actually,
she's
like, she
fucking,
needs fucking sectioned. Maybe she's not as bad now, but there was a point where she was, like, fucking too lala.
yeah, she's like, she's gone, man. She's bad shit crazy.
Proper, man. Absolutely fucking mad. Happens to the best of us, though.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? How many people do you know? And it's like, do you know what? See if this person was to get fucking tested, they probably would be clinically insane, or at least need to be on some sort of fucking medication.
Yeah, there's so many people like that. It's like fucking Christian. Like, which we were
And I
talking
was,
about this the other day, right? Because one of the headers I know was blasting Christmas tunes. And I'm like, the only good Christmas songs, Run Run Rudolph by Chuck Berry. And not even that. The cover by Lemmy Kilmister, Billy Gibbons, and Dave Grohl. Their cover of Run Run Rudolph's like the greatest fucking Christmas song. Or Chuck
man,
Billy cover in Silent Night.
I got that as a fucking Christmas present like a few years ago. My mum got me like a fucking rock Christmas song. So yeah, it has that Run Rudolph Run on it. And there's one, oh fuck, do you know what? It actually sounds like proper haunting. I can't remember the name of the song,
Is that the one with
but it's
Ronnie
on.
Dio?
Yes, mate, it's Dio and Tony Iommi's on it.
Yeah, it's like
Obviously on guitar,
"Come Rest
but
Ye
like it's
Merry Gentlemen" or something random.
yes, that's what it is. But like it's proper like Dio haunting, chilling, evil sounding. But yeah, that's mad. And then there's like fucking Bruce Springsteen singing Santa Claus is coming to town.
I fucking hate that song.
Man, I never got the whole like see I don't do that whole Christmas shit. Like people are fucking getting their knickers in a knot about, like all the fucking political correctness and what do you call that song? Fucking Fairy Tale in New York.
Yeah, like
Is that the one? And
yeah, the
people are like,
line like
oh,
Kirsty McCall who headbutted a jet ski and lost.
that's right, don't have about jet skis. It will be fatal,
There's
more
worse
than
to live
likely.
by there, people. And next time you're having a dip in the sea and you see a jet ski, don't fucking headbutt it. It's been tried before.
I'm
I
pretty sure it was like probably some like freak accident rather than her actually making an attempt to headbutt a jet ski, but that's neither here nor
I
there.
reckon it was a disgruntled man who didn't like Christmas. Who was just dicking about in his jet ski on holiday. He's got the wee fucking speedos and shit on. And he's like, here, Bill. What that fucking woman wrote that Christmas song? What? Like them people being pissed in New York. Your man with no teeth. Him. Fucking jet ski, that bastard. Full steam ahead and off we go. One of them standing up the back like General fucking Rommel pointing in our direction.
Man, exactly. But what's fucking when people have an issue with a song, it's like, well, you know, fuck it, it's a Christmas song. Why not just get on it? Plus, it's a
It's
fucking
better than
Christmas
that
song.
A17 song. Fucking hate that, man.
Mate, that's not even a Christmas song.
I
It
know.
just happens to have a slightly like, is it in the music video? Is there like a wee bit of snow and it has that wee like chimey bit? That's it. But it's not actually a fucking Christmas song. It just gets played at Christmas. I don't know who the fuck. I don't know who
Remember
makes the
that guy?
rules.
Remember your boy fucking, what do you call him? Guy who ran over himself in the car.
How do you run over yourself in the car?
Oh, your man Brian Harvey from E17. Have you never heard about this? He managed to like was reversing down the street in London, fell out of the car, and, like ran over himself. And then whenever they asked him what happened, he was like, I had three baked potatoes and then vomited. It's the funniest thing ever. The only second funny thing is the headline I seen in the Sun newspaper, which just said, I've seen George Michael bouncing down the motorway at 80 mile an hour when he fucked himself out of a Range Rover.
Man, I have to stop drinking whenever you're saying things like I accidentally spat that over the computer.
How Jordy Wham, he knew the score, like,
Man, he was fucking mental.
I'm fucking lunatic.
Speaking of gay man, Joe, who's I can't remember I said this before. That was actually a really weird fucking sidestep there. Speaking of gay men, can't remember whether I've said this to you before.
You
Um,
did.
Rob Halford's new book is supposed to be fucking amazing.
Yeah, I heard that. I read like some review of it, and he was like, apparently, like the review was like, yeah, I mean, he literally goes into every fucking death, like,
Well, do you know what? I think because he was gay and he was like the singer for one of like the heavy metal bands, like you've probably say like who invented heavy metal is Black Sabbath. Judas Priest are a very, very close second.
yeah,
So to be like gay in that world and all, but he's like owned it.
yeah.
Like
That was
pretty
the
much
best thing
from
about
the
like
comic.
Halford, like where he was like, he came out and he was like, yeah, I'm gay, and everyone was like, ah, fair enough.
Did you see you in the way like obviously because of social distancing and all that bollocks,
I love
they're
social
having to do all
distancing.
these like they're having to do like fucking like Zoom interviews and things like that. They were able to get multiple fuckers up on the screen at once. I can't remember who was doing it or something like that. But there was Sebastian Bach from oh, fuck, what's his name? Skid Row. He was on. There's some comedian as well, and I think they were talking about Halford's book and things like that. And they put like his voice because like Halford's famous for like you listen to Painkiller, how high he sings. Like I've seen Judas Priest live, and he like puts effort into hitting those high notes like that entire song. And they were talking about one of the guys said, like about his voice, and said like it must be all the cum that he takes in his mouth. I don't know whether it was like was he? He's like, you don't know whether he rinses or whether he gargles with it.
No,
That's
it's the
good for
throat
his
there
throat.
by.
Yeah, and apparently like Bart like kind of took that to heart and was like, "Oh, yous are fucking wankers," and like left, just got up and left. And then like it was a wee while later, they actually had Halford on the same like whoever the fuck was doing the interview. They had Halford on, and they came up about it, and he's like, "It's like no, I don't think you'll find that I gargle it. I just swallow it straight." And it's like he just like owned the moment. You know, they tried to like kind of take the piss, and he just fucking owned it. And he's like, "Yeah, no, that's what I do, dickhead." He's an absolute legend, mate. That's why he is the metal god.
Yeah, it's like that's the thing I love about. It's one of the good things about heavy metal, why people's like, oh, look at them big hairy people who smells like human and that can just run about and listen to this weird shit about it. And they're like, actually, no, that's like so minded. It's like fucking helper comes out his hair and everyone's like, well, mate, to be fair, I kind of suspected it. But yeah, they go on about like, oh, we footballers playing the Premier League now here are gay, but they can't come out because of the abuse they'll get. And it's just like, and this is meant to be from the fucking normal people.
Well, do you know what's funny about the football abuse? Is that it's not as if footballers don't get abuse anyway. And I think that's one thing. We probably have one of the lowest standards of football in Northern Ireland in our league.
Of course, they do half
But
the
see
times
when
when
it
we're
comes,
playing fucking football or tennis, where it's like, here's what we'll do. I'll get the ball and give it to you. You give it back to me. We'll give it to him. You hoof it up the field and he'll hoof it back and then we'll try it again.
well, mate, yeah, the Glens are going to shout at the man, so I'm going to fucking sidestep that part of the conversation. Fucking brutal. But see when it comes to this year, like shouting and abuse, mate, we are the best by a fucking mile. I've been to games in Scotland, been to games in England. Nobody gets angry and pissed off at players, their own players, the other team's players, and the referee like we do. We are the fucking champions at like hating people of football by a mile.
Fuck me, without having a practice off it, like,
Oh yeah, mate. See when it comes, mate, I've been to like fucking games in England, and there's just they actually boo. They actually make the sound boo at like the referee. Whereas I'm like, what the fuck are you doing, you fucking daft cunt? Fuck off. How you, you know, I'm getting like proper. I mean, people looked at me. The amount of times I go to a game in England, I'm like, especially because, you know, maybe had your first beer in the airport like 7 o'clock in the morning, you know, and you just kind of like start as you mean to go on. Mate, the amount of times that people look at me, because I just like, fuck, even shouting at our own players, I'm like, what the fuck are you doing, you fucking daft bastard? You know, they're all like, I can't believe he's saying that. It's like, fuck off.
I know. It's like, yo, dickhead, how do you not see him coming? Just stick your fucking spunk deflectors on.
Exactly. It's like, oh, that's supposed to be one of the greatest terms ever. That's
Mm.
one thing that we are fucking other champions at here is see just like terms for like normal things. Like see when it comes to like your hands, most people don't just say hands. Everybody has like a word for it. Like you could say like your mitts,
Or your
or the
dick,
best term for hands by a mile is your dick beaters by an
your dick
absolute mile.
skinners.
It's like exactly. See when it's the first
Or
time I heard someone go, "Fuck's sake, check out his dick beaters." It took me to the like fucking check out the dick beaters in your mouth. Oh man,
yeah,
I pissed myself laughing.
yeah. One of those ones like, give us 2 minutes. You just need to watch the old wanking spanners.
Yeah, man, that has to be the thing. As much as us being from a daft wee country, see when we go to somewhere else, and it's like nobody else says or thinks the way that we do.
No,
That's
it's
probably a
probably
good
the
thing.
only place like, and this is going back to a story at Wacken. I think it was Wacken 2004 or 2004. Yeah, because Ricky Hayes was there meeting these Glaswegians, and they were daring each other. You know way you see like fucking Germans and Europeans and Norwegians and all, and they're like 6'4",
Aye.
blonde hair, built like a side of a brick shit house. They look like the fucking super Gestapo. And these guys were
Yeah.
just running up to them, just yelling, "Fanny balls!" as loud as they could in their faces and just running away. I also seen some guy running around with a dildo duct tape to each hand. I don't know what was wrong with him.
That probably was involved, right? He obviously like overdone it a wee bit, and his mates thought Joe would be fucking hilarious if we fucking taped dildos to his dick beaters.
I know, but I'm like the unlucky bastard going through an airport. They always just go, don't like a look at him. He's suspect. Get him fucking in here. What's in your bag? Sleeping bag. Set of wet clothes, set of dry clothes, and a set of clothes for going out in Amsterdam. I just open it there, and you're like, fair enough. Like, could you imagine opening the bag up and all the seas like two huge black dildos are rolled up tape, and it's just like, we're just going on holiday. We're mates to a festival. The guy's
I
honestly
see
just
it.
gonna go fucking close that. On you go. I don't want to know.
Do you know what? That has to be one of the most interesting jobs in the world is airport security. I see the amount of times they go, right, can you open your bag for me, please? Mate, they must have seen it all. Seen it all.
I remember fucking in Hamburg. It's Hamburg Altona. It's like the wee shit dress. It's like basically the Geordie best version of like their airport. Only even
Yeah.
worse because it's like a tent, a portaloo, and a fucking old loop flap, a runway, and a scanner. And the guy was like, "Yeah, you've got 2 lighters in your back or 3 lighters in your pocket. You can only have two." And I remember like rummaging these shorts out, like those weird urban combat things like Terry Keane wears, like the grey, black, and white ones.
Yes.
Pair of them I had, and I just cut them off because my shins were too warm or something. And like pulled out these 3 lighters and was just like, here, fucking have them too. I'll keep that one. I like it. Went back in, come home, was taking like the stuff out to wash my clothes, and found a bag of grass that I fucking lost, and I thought I had lost in like the festival, and somehow managed to get that through. Like they were more concerned
Magic.
about lighters, and then phone.
Priorities, mate. Do you
Yeah,
know what I mean? We'll put it this way. What are you going to do with a wee bag of weed?
yeah. I'm gonna like,
Absolutely fucking nothing. If you've lighters, mate, you could fucking light something. You could fucking call someone harmful later. With weed, it's like, nah, mate, he's not going to be able to do shit with a wee fucking couple of grams of weed on him.
yeah. Oh, that's right. I had
And
like
here,
the funniest thing ever. Like in that airport, because I bought like a pair of combat shorts, and like I've got something like a 38, 30-inch waist. Like fucking has been like that for ages. But it was like 34-inch or 36. No, this person, you're only going to a festival, so you just want something decent, secure pocket, and you throw all your fucking papers and shit in type. Papers.
exactly.
Fuck me, it sounds like call fucking junior medal of honor here. And he's just like, take off your shoes, take off your belt. Done that, went to get searched, my fucking shorts fell down. It was something like something out of a carry on film.
Mate, that is the most awkward thing in the fucking world. See, when you're going through like airport security, it's like take your belt off, and it's like, mate, why do you think I have a fucking belt on? It holds my trousers up. So now you have to stand waiting to get go through the wee fucking scanner thing with your fucking hands in your pockets because that's what's holding your fucking trousers up. It's fucking ridiculous. It's like, mate, just take your belt off, and it's like, no, that's what's fucking holding my trousers up. How did they not work that out?
Mate, I
Why do
would
you
be
think
more
I'm wearing a belt?
concerned for him. I've been at like a festival in Germany for like 4 days, and it was like an average of somewhere between 40 and 45 degrees. Mate, I wouldn't have wanted to fucking like wet the fucking scuds down at that point. It was one of those ones that's like you fucking sit down, you can't make up an opinion, you just create maximum distance. It's like you can shower for like €1 or €2 or whatever, and I'm just like, well, if I have 1 shower day for 3 days, well, 4 days were there. Actually, we got there the night before, whacking lasted for 3 days. We left the day after. So today we were there for 5 days. Like, if I get a shower every day, that's £3.
That's a fair point, man. I didn't think Sharm was the done thing at those things. I've never been to a festival. That's one thing I'm actually really, actually kind of wanting to do. I really wanted to go to Download this year because the headliners were Maiden, because I'm just fucking diehard Iron Maiden fan. System of a Down, because they don't really do a lot of touring. And again,
We
there's a
can't go there
reference.
with that one.
Nope, nope, we can't go there either. So we're going to have to find something where we can just do a proper, like, raw version where we literally can just say and do everything and just see how long it lasts.
I think
It
we're gonna
won't
have two
last as long as
virgins.
this.
Two virgins.
Yeah, because the System of a Down reference, we really, really, really can't quote that inside joke there. But there's, yeah, System of a Down and Kiss on their farewell tour. I never saw Kiss, and I'm not a massive Kiss fan. But see, if you talk to like any big band, and they always talk about their influences and stuff like that, nearly everybody seems to rhyme off Kiss. So that's what got me into them a wee bit more.
Kind of
And you know what? some of the early stuff's not fucking bad.
I think they
Like it
came
does
along at
get
the
away.
right time, but it was just like that whole sort of like we're fucking gonna venture into dangerous territory here. It was just like that whole merchandising thing, and it's just like that. And Gene Simmons claimed they invented all the shit. Oh, I invented that throwing up the horns. No, he didn't. Ronnie Dio claimed he done it because of his granny. Now that I done it first, so I'm gonna try and trademark it. And it's just like, fuck off, mate. Either you're in a
Yeah,
rock and
but
roll band or you're in a fucking business. I know it's like being in a band like professionally, it does at a certain point, it does become a business, but I mean like fuck off, man. Like
well, do you know what? That's a funny thing. It's like, again, we've talked about this before. Is like I am a fucking massive, massive, massive Iron Maiden fan, and like I said, I also know like a lot of metal fans who aren't Maiden fans. I find that kind of wee bit weird. I like heavy metal. Like you're one. You're not a massive Iron Maiden fan. I don't understand how you're a heavy metal fan and don't like Iron Maiden.
I don't know, man. It's just like I'm just
But
never
they're one
really
of those
into
ones
it.
as well. Like Maiden, you can get Maiden. I see how we fucking check there. I'm not. Like you can get like I have Iron Maiden socks. You can get Iron Maiden fucking everything and anything. And Kiss were like the first band to
Yeah,
like start that. Whereas name an item, you can stick the Kiss logo on it and they can sell it.
yeah,
And Kiss, fair play to them, mate. Why not if you can? But Maiden, they're not as bad, but like you can get close to fucking Iron Maiden
yeah. Sure. Apparently,
everything.
Dimebag Darrell's buried in a Kiss coffin and all. Because he loved them. And he was just like,
Yeah, he's buried in a Kiss coffin and he is buried with Eddie Van Halen's black and white guitar.
yeah. He's also the
Yeah.
first person to be buried. And you know the way Black Label Society has like that weird, like their black sort of their Black Label vest, like the leather sort of almost like a motorcycle jackety type gang thing.
Oh yeah, they're the straight edge motorcycle gang.
Yeah. Zach Wild, like basically give him like one of his vests, and he's the first member of like he calls it the Black Label family to be fucking led the rest in that shit and all. And you know it's like Zach Wild because him and Dimebag were so fucking good mates. And anytime have you ever seen Black Label? They always play that song in This River, which is a song he wrote as like tribute to him.
Yeah, and yeah, mate, that song like fucking pulls the heartstrings at the best of times. But like when if you were to listen to it, it would be an emotional song. Then when you know what it's about, you're like, oh fuck, like
I've
that's.
seen them play that song live. Actually
Now
played
I've
them
never
twice.
seen Black Label.
I seen them the last time they played in Belfast. Actually, they were fucking brilliant. You know, in Limelight 2, or used
Yeah,
to be at
yeah,
Spring Nurbrick, like an
yeah. Fuck,
old
that's
Fowler time here.
small.
Like
I know it's Spring and Arbor. Hey, I still call it Spring and Arbor.
Zach Wild, like went through the crowd, like and done this guitar solo and ended up in the bar. And at one point, I was standing probably where we were standing whenever we only went in to see Airborne. Then we moved up the front a bit more, and he was like literally there. I was like, "What the fuck is that, Wild? Giving it stacks in the bar."
Mate, you've went awful quiet there. Um, yeah, mate, Zach Wild seems like he does actually seem genuinely cool. When you see some of those guys and they're like, I remember there was a guy when the Robinson Centre was open. He used to go with a lot, and he was a big wrestling fan. He was into his rock music, so anytime he came in, I'd help him with his training, and we just talk shit. Not a bad job to be honest, but he was a massive U2 fan,
I
and
fucking
he's
hate
like,
you too.
do you know what? Maybe it's age. They've grown on me a bit. They're not bad. They do have. You couldn't write them off altogether. You can't say everything they've ever done is shite. But as we say, we're talking about like, he's a massive Springsteen fan. He's like, love to go for beers with Bruce Springsteen. Like, you'd love to go to beers because this is when he was alive. Love to go to beers with Lemmy. Like,
And it
that
would be
would be,
good to drink
that's,
with.
and he's like, mate, as much as I love you too, I would not like to go out for fucking beers with Bono.
Man, it grieves me that I have to walk the same fucking planet as him. I can't fucking stand him. Him and that other fucker, Geldof. Like, it's just,
Is that an Irish thing there, mate? Is there a wee bit of bigotry coming out
no. I'm
there?
I'm perfectly accepting to most people apart from fuckwit. I'm just allergic to bastards. I just hate that whole sort of like,
Allergic to bastards. Yeah,
Uh,
man, I don't mind. Yeah, I think.
it's like if I
Did you
go to
ever
see a
get?
rock and roll show, all right, I want to go see a rock and roll show, or I want to go see a music show. I don't want to go and be preached at between songs. Like every time I click my fingers and fucking kid in Africa guys and stuff, clicking your fucking fingers in. Whereas like Marcy, like I love the Smiths, but yet Morrissey, like I was meant to go see him, and I ended up I didn't do it because I had to. I think I had to work. Fucking
Me
surprise,
and Ryan
surprise.
went. Me and Ryan went. Got absolutely fucking hammered at it. That was the one. I'm not a Morrissey fan. Gun to my head right now, I actually couldn't name you five Morrissey songs, but I'm a big Smiths fan. And my brother, he used to have a load of mates who worked in the Odyssey. So I used to be able to go up and be like, here, you know my brother Ross, you fucking sort us out with a couple of drinks. And we used to get like free pints and different things like that. And it was, I knew one of the guys, knew one of the guys from the gym as well. So I was like, right, I can't remember, we stood for like one or two songs. And I was like, right, it's my shout and I know where the fella is. So I'll be able to get us sorted out with a couple of scoops pretty cheap. I'm like, happy days, right? But he was like other side of the arena kind of thing. So I'm walking around. His bit started to get closed off. And I'm like, fuck's sake. Started to go back round to where we were. Standing in the queue. He said, not a massive fucking Morrissey fan, just a Smiths fan. I think he done like three Smith songs the whole night. He opened with The Queen is Dead, which is a fucking brilliant song and a brilliant album.
That's a fucking cracking tune, man.
And so that's what he opened with. It was Morrissey stuff. So I went to get the drinks. Mate, he starts playing. Oh shit, I can't remember what it was. He only played two other Smith songs, and I missed them both in the queue for drinks. And as soon as I came back, like I handed Ryan his drinks, he's like, "Mate, I'm fucking sorry you missed that." I'm like, "Look, it was my shout. That's the way it was. You know, he'd have missed it had it been his round. But
Fucking
was I
classic
think he
me
played.
round story there, like.
Yep, that's well. That's also another reason I wanted to do this sort of stuff. It's things seem to just go wrong with me, and I don't know why. There's a story for everything. Like nothing's ever just simple. Nothing ever just happens. Every time I go somewhere or do something, it's never yes, and everything went completely according to plan. It's like there's always like when we met, like obviously
Remember in Dublin when the
the
guy tried to steal your identity?
well, yeah, that was the first like going down to Dublin. The man wanted to steal my identity. He needed ID whenever I was making, just to confirm the booking. So you give him a driver's license. He went, okay, and that's you, so off you go. And he didn't give me my license back. And it's like, because also what we probably should mention is that the guy was, and this is no way racist or bigoted or anything like that, he was a foreigner. I don't know where he was from by the accent, but like, yeah, it
Middle
was,
East.
yeah, and he just didn't give me back my ID. I'm like, can I have my ID back? He's like, oh, yeah, here you go, like reluctantly. And it was just as we were walking up the stairs, you turned to me and he went, mate, he was well trying to steal your identity.
There
That was
was gonna
also the
be
fact
some
we
guy
were
was gonna
told.
be running around Dublin going, "No, my name is Ryan Mooney. I am in no way involved in ISIS."
And there's another offensive remark. We're going not too bad, man. But that was also the guy who says, like, yeah, see if he's all like shower in the morning, it fucks with our water pressure. So see if he's want to shower at night. And we're standing there like, mate, we're down to see fucking Slayer. And it's like, we're going to be coming back at fucking stupid o'clock in the morning. It's like,
By
we'll come
that
back
point, I
shift
didn't
eight.
want to go into bed. I was so cold, my nipples hurt. That's never happened before. I've
Every
never had
time.
sore nipples.
Every time it comes up how cold you were, your nipples always seem to come up in the conversation.
Apart from the time I got a nipple twister in P4 and it went blue for a few days. When nipple twisters was all the rage.
Oh fuck! But that was yeah. So he's like, if he's come back, when you have a shower whenever he's come back, it's like I mean, see whenever we come back at like fucking 3 o'clock in the morning, completely shit faced. Remember, we need to have a shower. And do you know what? We should have because that shower in the morning was. I think you described it as being pissed on by an elephant. Was your exact terminology? Because you went in first. Because I was a wee bit fucking. I was getting it tight whenever I woke up. So you went and got first, and then I went in after. I'm like, what the fuck was he doing in here?
I didn't charge, just flood the bathroom.
Yeah, that's exactly what I gathered. It's like, did he even shower? Did he just fucking soak the place? This thing was up the walls and everything. I don't know how you managed that. But, he tried to steal my identity and then told us that we should shower at like fucking 3 o'clock in the morning.
Right? While
I
we're
don't know
on
if
the
I
Dublin
know.
subject, we've got to approach the 13 euro at Big Elephant in the room here.
Do you know what the funny thing was? Was see being down in Dublin there in January and see Theo Vaughan. I was walking along whatever the fuck you call that road that runs parallel to the Liffey. I'm like, I
The
fucking
big long
recognise
one,
a
as
lot of
I kept
this.
calling it.
I'm like, mate, I recognise this. I'm like, we're coming up to the most expensive bar. The best thing about that was one, I bought fucking 2 pints in there. Alright, I can't remember what I paid, but you fucking complain constantly about the price of 2 bottles. I bought 2 pints, so my round was more expensive. But it was the bewilderment in your face when you also was the fact that we fucked up, that we didn't know that you could just go into a shop and just get beers, because you can't do that here. So we thought, we'll be smart, let's get bottles, we can take them outside with us. When the bottles are done, we'll call into the next bar and top up on our dander on the way to the arena. So when he's like, right man, 2 bottles of Heineken, no worries. He's like, €13. And you
13
try to be
euro.
like, hand him a tenner. And you try to like hand him a tenner. And he's like, no, 13. And you see your face trying to do like the maths. You can see the wee hamster running around in the wheel. And you're trying to process why a tenner doesn't cover the price of 2 bottles of Heineken. And you're like, all right, man, no sweat. And you like put it in the hand him a 20. And then literally we get outside, not even half a second. 13 fucking euros! 13 fucking euros for 2 fucking bottles of Heineken! And then I pissed myself the whole way. Again, that's one of the reasons for wanting to do this sort of thing. See if that was recorded. Oh, mate, we would have been in stitches. That was one of the funniest. You ranting. And do you know what the best bit about it was?
But the fact that I was so
Is the
angry, I knocked my beard and I fucked it in the bin.
well, you see, I made it last time. Like I'm fucking rationing this, but it was also the fact that we were walking in the wrong direction to the arena. I don't know why. When we went to O'Reilly's and we just came out and we just turned and started walking and never questioned the direction that we were heading in.
Yeah. Why is there fucking
So,
Toblerones in the road, mate? The fuck we
see, that
doing?
was the whole thing. If we went the right way, we never would have went to that bar,
See,
and we
but
never would have.
on the plus side of that, if I hadn't ended up at the train station, I probably would have pissed myself or get done for like public urination.
Yeah, there was that. It was the fact. It was the Guinness skates, man. Is all the time. I've always walked to that arena from the bars. It's always done that. Just pub crawled the way to the arena. And then when I saw the Guinness, I went, fuck, it's the Guinness Gates. Fucking hear about them all the time. And then I went, I've never seen the Guinness Gates before. And I was like, right, well, if I've done this walk a lot of times, how have I never seen the Guinness Gates?
It was the
The
fact that when we were
penny,
in the train station, whenever I bunny hopped that barricade and started running along the platform, and I just kept thinking, this is, I'm gonna think this is a terror attack. I'm gonna fucking die here. And
is like a
basically
terrorist attack.
fucking
You're
ran
like,
in and just booted the door of the toilets open and just like there was some guy was standing at the urinal thing and basically ran in beside me. One of the ones like you're on it, you've got your cock out before you even hit it.
exactly.
And it
That's
was
when you
like,
know you're in trouble.
yeah. And like pretty much just ran over and just went, ah. And the guy broke the cardinal rule. Like he communicated with cock in hand. You know what, like we were talking about urinal etiquette the other day, Mark, where it's like if you go in the above or in the bathroom toilet, whatever the fuck you want to call it, the John
Yeah,
for the American people,
the pissers.
the pissoir, call them in German. And it's like you see some guys having you walk in, you go, you alright? You alright? And that's it. Until you're at the sink washing your hands, no more fucking conversation. Anyway, I basically ran in, fucking whipped out the fucking dog, was going for a piss, was just like, thank fuck for that. Fucking cold out there. And the guy was like, sure, you look like you needed that. Like, right, mate, you're breaking etiquette here. Like, please stop it. And all I'm worried about is like, I only found this out like the summer after when I was wearing shorts, and the same thing happened to me in Belfast. And I was like, because in the summer I used to do this thing, right, where it's like go into Belfast, have lunch, have a few pints, walk from there to Ballyhackamore, have a few pints, walk from Ballyhackamore to Dundalk, get a carry out, have a few pints, go up to the cozy, have another pint, walk home. And you know that thing where you're walking towards the bar and like, need to go for a piss, need to go for a piss. Then he was wearing like a pair of like 3/4 length like combat shorts,
No.
and realized my shins are getting wet here. And it was because it was like needed to take a piss so badly. It was like high velocity, like urination. So it was like actually hitting the porcelain and bouncing back at me again. I'm like,
Mate, that actually happened to me in uh fuck what do you call it? Horatio Toads. It was the Christmas dinner in the gym and went
why were
I
you
can't
wearing
remember what
shorts to
fucking
a
restaurant.
Christmas dinner?
I wasn't wearing shorts, it was more the piss bit that I was talking about. Was I got in there and I did need a fucking slash something shocking. Go in and the fella beside actually went, fuck, strength of your piss. It's the most random
One of
most
those ones,
random.
just like at him, yeah, young and fair, right, mate. Which leads me to my next question. See, when you're in primary school, did you ever have a
Yes,
competition of who could piss the highest up the wall?
100%. Yes.
Yeah, we were
Primary
talking like,
school? Fuck's sake, mate, I do that now.
yeah, I was in the John Hewitt one day, and do you remember when the John Hewitt had like the not very respectable toilets? So you walked in, it was just like your round with two open windows in the car park and like one cubicle.
Yes, yes.
And I remember standing in there one day. It was like a random day, so it was like a Tuesday or Wednesday or Thursday or something whenever I was off. So everyone else was in work, so I had no one to play with. And I remember standing there, and I think I might have just been topping up from the night before. So it's like you have 2 pints and you're just pissed again. And you
Yeah,
remember
yeah.
sort of standing there going for a piss, just going, I can fucking piss out that window right now.
That's what it is. It's always a window. You see a window and you're like, I could fucking piss out that. No sweat.
And then you start trying to remember techniques where it's just like, if I squeeze the willy really hard and let the pressure build up, then let it go, it can kind of go, and it'll be like a flamethrower in fucking Vietnam. Only it'll be like a stream of urine. And then within that night, so that night we were meant to see Ozzy, and we end up going to that burger restaurant and went out for pints, and we ended up in the
What?
John Hewitt.
Bunsen burgers.
That was it.
Mate, they were good burgers.
Bunsen burger does do good. Plus you can get it like sort of medium. I asked him.
That was, mate, they were really good fucking burgers. Actually, as burgers go, like they were actually fucking quality.
I remember what the fuck was I even on about there? Oh, about the time we went into the John Hewitt and had respectable toilets, and I was like, where the fuck did this come from?
I join you. Used to be they weren't the fucking greatest toilets in the world. That's how you rate a bar. It's like what are the bugs like? Also, I don't know whether they do this in other places, but I do know of bars in Belfast. See when you go in the cubicles, see if there's like a wee like fucking ledge bit, is they cover it in Vaseline.
Yeah, that or
That means
WD
anybody,
40 did in restaurants as well.
yeah, it means it stops anybody who's trying to go in and do a line of gear. You put your gear down on the ledge and it just fucking sticks.
Yeah, I remember
Which I
I got a free line of cocaine in the fucking point one day in Ballyhackamore.
result.
Because like people have been in before me, and you know one of the ones like you walk into the toilet and it's like 3 men walk out of your cubicle, and it's like I'm not in a gay bar,
You
so
there, mate? That's
I
you
don't know
going.
what's going on here. And then within it
Okay,
obviously in
that's not a
company with
bad
their
time
drugs,
to
so I
call
was just like
quits. So yeah,
scooped it
he's
up,
been
fucking sniffed it, and then went back
disconnect.
out
Oh,
and
here,
was
and
like,
we're back in the room. Know what happened there?
"Oh, I was just talking about gay bars and cocaine.
Yeah, mate, you cut out for a bit.
My Wi-Fi is probably valid.
I didn't know it was that, or else your phone battery or something like that, because mine was down, because we were on the phone earlier. Which I
No,
think we
mine's
kind
at
of need to
55.
do.
That's my charger still. My charger's in.
I think we need to do that. I think we need to get all the stuff that we can't say on here kind of out of our system. Which is kind of weird, because we can say good bit.
Also,
That's one thing I want it to be. Is
your
I want
big girl from fucking Tinder just messaged me. I need to try and work out how to like keep this podcast going, but like continue this Tinder conversation. So
Yo, bros before four hoes and all that shit. Do you know what I mean? And that's you going, mate. Again, stop fucking about on Tinder and you'll not fucking lose this, you daft bastard. You can't even fucking hear this. You fucking idiot. Too busy trying to get a fucking Tinder date. No, it did. You fucking left. That's why I just decided to slobber about you wherever you left.
Like, stop fucking slobbering at me.
But get your fucking hole in your own time. Stop wasting my time.
Aye, fair enough. Can't argue with that.
Ah, do you know what I mean? Fuck's sake. Try to get a couple of beers in a fucking chat. We're in fucking lockdown. You know, you
Yeah.
can't fucking meet to get your hole anyway, alright? I'll fucking report you to the fucking Gestapo. And then fucking
It's like
her
a
or
cracking joke. Knock knock.
who's there?
The Gestapo.
Gestapo who?
Viva las questions!
I don't know why I laughed so hard at that. Man, but that's what it's like. You'll have fucking her Arlene and fucking her Michelle fucking interrogating you. That's what it is, man. It's part of the
Arlene
fucking
Foster's a fucking boot, like.
man. Do you know what? I wonder how many people are going to lose their fucking jobs over this shit. I hope every single one of those cunts that's in charge now loses their fucking jobs out of this.
We
Because it's
discussed
fucking
this the
crawler.
other night, mate, and you summed it up perfectly. It's like in any other fucking government, it's just like they'll be fucking patting themselves in the back with one hand and handing the noose with the other.
Exactly. Everything's about, oh, here, we've got to cover our own tracks, we've got to cover our own tracks. And then it's like, yeah, but you're fucking people at the same time. You're fucking the people who are going to be voting for you in the next election, you dumb
Yeah.
fucks.
But
So
also,
anybody
not to
who,
get too deep down this rabbit hole, they know they're guaranteed votes in certain places, so I don't give a fuck.
but they're not. Sure, that was the whole thing with East Belfast. That's how your fucking fat, horrible, Jabba hot looking bitch Naomi Long got fucking voted in was because of DUP. It was fucking East Belfast was the fucking safest DUP seat in the fucking country. And they went, sure, mate, we don't even have to do anything for those fucking Mongols and they'll still vote for us. And then we went, actually, do you know what, dickhead, we're actually going to vote for somebody else. And then that fucking
Yeah.
daft bitch, Naomi
Did
Long,
not
thinks that
fucking
people actually
backfire.
liked her. Yeah, she was like, oh, here, they actually like me. And I think, we don't fucking like you. We're actually trying to prove a point. You know? So, no, I think people, if you fucking keep voting for the same fucking Mongols, you're part of the fucking problem.
It's fucking.
Dickheads, mate. So no, fuck them. Fuck this whole fucking Nazi state and fucking that's what it is, man. It's people don't fucking realise it is. It's become a fucking Nazi state. You can't fucking go anywhere. You have to wear a mask. It's like the same as having your fucking papers. That's what they'll be doing fucking next.
It's not like the same as that, mate. Like,
Okay,
it's
that's
like,
maybe a wee bit of an exaggeration. That
yeah,
was probably a wee bit
it's like
harsh.
fair play. It's like put a mask on, like going to fucking like go into a shop, you put a mask on. You go into a crowded place, you social distance, you put a mask on. It's just like it's a small price to pay. Right, and it's like whenever fucking
The
people start
principle,
banging on
though,
about it, it's
it's the
like,
principle of wearing a mask. It's the same. Do you want? See if you're going to do as well. See if you're going to put fucking queues outside shops for a start in November. It's fucking back out of order. But two, I queued for fucking ages to get into Sainsbury's one time during the fucking first lockdown. There's people wanting to do a weekly shop. I just wanted a case of Heineken. Should there
go
not
to
be some
fucking
fucking
off then.
fast track? Why did I not go to the office? I think I'll fucking trail the Sainsbury's or something like that. Like people fucking want the fucking week shop, and I'm like, I just want a case of beer. Can I not fucking just nip in? You know, fucking arseholes, mate. No, I don't fucking support any of this shit. They
I
can
don't know.
stick their
It doesn't
masks.
fucking bother me, but I can't be fucking. It's like if they want me to wear a mask and wash my hands, it's like I'll do it. I mean, like fuck me, I've been washing my hands for years before. I mean, it's not the point of my hands are like actually fucking all fucked up again at the minute. But that's probably because
Well,
of the
that's
juice
also
from
my
D9. So
mate. That's my favorite bit. That washing your hands is a new thing. I was like, what the fuck have the rest of you dirty bastards been doing for the rest of this time? You know, he coughed. Oh, you should wash your hands after you cough. And I was like, yeah, when's this fucking new? I thought you should always be fucking washing your hands.
yeah, I know. It's like we were talking about this actually the other day at Mark. It's like we want to get like in me clicker things you see like security guards and bouncers have,
Ah,
and it like for the number of people like is in them. We want to get one of them someday, and every time we wash our hands, we click it just to say the amount of times we wash our hands a day, and it's just like
why don't you just get like a pen and paper and just tally it?
fuck off. Like I haven't got time for that shit.
I haven't got time. I'm not going to fucking tally things. I want a clicker.
I could just write it in the prep board in the wall, but I'm not going to because I've
Well,
like
that's another thing that
three other
we
things to
should.
do.
Yeah, mate, that's one thing we need to do whenever the fucking Gestapo allow us to meet, is we'll have to do like some sort of cooking special, and you can let your chef expertise shine, and you can teach me. I'm not. Do you know what? I'm not that bad at cooking. I'm just not in your league, just because you're a fucking literal professional. You know,
Yeah.
so you can still fucking teach me a couple of things, and like how to defrost a curry properly.
I remember that night. It was just that bit of weird. I walked into the kitchen, just looked at me, and I was having like my full meltdown because there was like fucking Chinese containers, and he was just like, "You alright?" And it's like it's fucking content. We'll have to clean it up. We can't do it. And he was like, just sort of fixed himself a drink or whatever, and then just walked out, just going, "Fucking weirdo."
Exactly. So yeah, we'll have to do that. We cook. I don't know. Like we'll start simple. We'll not be fucking mad, but like cook a steak. Because I've talked to you about cooking steaks before. Because it's one of the few things that I can cook is a steak. I think I can cook a steak. I've never fucking had any complaints. But how does it match up to chefery standards of cooking a steak and
Chefery. Hello,
chefery? Yeah.
Chefery. Sounds like a people from fucking Eton or something. Hello, this is my friend Jeffrey. He's came to the stage for the weekend. Oh, fucking really? Hello, fucking Jeffrey.
Yes.
Don't
I
mind,
because
don't mind
it is a
Granddad in the
word.
corner. He's had a few whiskeys. Has he fucking really?
It is a word. Well, it is now because I said it.
Well, I
That
think
makes it
you're
a word.
confusing it with Chefy.
That as well. That's also a
Or,
word.
as I like to say,
So
I'm not a chef. I'm a thirsty gentleman off the stove. Fucking yeah, send your kids to the fucking hospitality industry there, people. Fucking glamorizing alcoholism, fucking drug abuse and all sorts.
yeah, because basically,
Mm,
chefs are rock stars who can't play the guitar.
pretty much, yeah. It's like, what did he
You know,
do? He cooked for 15 hours a day and come back, knocked the 12 pack, went to sleep at like 2 o'clock and was up at half 6 in the kitchen again for a quarter to 8. Think you might have a problem there, Janice. It's just like, hang on a minute, get off your fucking fat hole and stop sitting in an office fucking Monday to Friday, 9 to 5 to live his life. It's like,
exactly.
that ate out the help out thing. Like I hadn't done those fucking 15-hour days since like I was in like my late 20s at least.
Well, here's one for you. Right, you look at all like the high profile chefs in the world, or like in the UK, like you'd see on fucking TV, right? Maybe not so much now, because a lot of them have been about. It's the same dickheads who have been about for ages. How many of them have like would be on a lot of drugs? Do you reckon? Like as a serious question, like how many of them do you reckon when they're in the fucking restaurant are sneaking off to do fucking bumps of coke and shit like that, and are up all hours boozing and shagging and whatnot, living the rock and roll lifestyle?
Within the last sort of 10, 15 years, drinking wise, Tom Carriage was putting away fucking 15 pints a night.
Fuck, that's impressive.
And then getting up like between 12 and 15 pints. I remember watching the program a few years back and he was saying about whenever he done it. But it's kind of flipped now, so it's like you don't have that debaucherous sort of thing. Like back in the 80s, celebrity chefs, and for legal reasons, we're not going to mention names.
That's probably fair, because neither of us have the money to get sued.
Fuck, especially not against the money
But like
these
right enough,
guys have.
but it's
Like,
the same. It's the same with like rock stars and all that. It's like you look at someone who's in a band now, like Airborne, like they're fucking drinkers. Those boys can booze, but there's no way the guys in Airborne do the coke and shit like that that Motorhead were doing and the speed.
yeah, see,
Do you know
because
what I mean? Like
drugs has kind
you
of became
imagine.
unfashionable. It's like the industry's kind of flip flopping now. We get like a lot of sort of straight edge, clean living people where they're just like, yeah, I'm going to do this, and I'll have like three.
Well, it's the same like even with fighters and things like that. Like that's what makes like John Jones, UFC light heavyweight champion, like such an anomaly because like he was winning. world title fights in spectacular fashion and was on like coke binges. Like was doing like 2 weeks training. He's fighting like a legend and training like 2 weeks. And he's just mostly doing coke and partying. And then would go in and then like fuck them up in the first round. And then go back to just fucking partying and coke and shit like that. It's you don't get too many people like that nowadays. Like that all seems to be gone with the whole like rock and roll era. Like you imagine like fucking Sabbath in the day if there had been like fucking social media. They wouldn't have been who they are. Bit fucking boring now to be honest. Because you don't have any fucking crazy cokeheads. You there? Are you falling asleep? And Craig has left the building. Right. That's not a bad time to call it quits. So this has
Hold on,
been
I'm back again. I think my phone just shut off.
you fucking bellend. How many times is that you fucking cut out?
Cause I go on a tangent about things, then after like 5 minutes, my phone goes to sleep. So I'm just like, oh fuck no, I have to go click password back in.
I know I
Ta-da!
have to fucking squiggle the wee fucking arrow on the laptop every now and again, so I do, because it not that it cuts out, but the screen goes black and I
I
panic.
don't know. I still struggle to use fucking teletext, and you can't even get that anymore. Stop
That's
fucking
what you
slabbering
say.
at me.
Who the fuck uses teletext? What fucking age are you?
I don't know. You get that BBC
You
Red button up, and then they like give you the news, and then you sit for fucking 2 minutes while it goes loading, and then it comes up fucking Judith Chalmers fucking designated holidays, and I'm like, I'm in the middle of fucking
fuck's wrong
lockdown.
with me?
You can't fucking have that.
The
Stupid
fuck's wrong with me?
fucking
You're trying to
cunt.
find out how the fucking boys are doing on the Western Front. Get with the fucking times.
Fuck off. Like, I'm not up to date with your technology thing. You on computers. I played Tetris.
I mean, I never really
In
got
fact, it
computers.
wasn't
I'm
even Tetris.
shit at computers.
It was that fucking where you got two wee arrows, like, or two wee lines moving up each side of the screen and the fucking ball bouncing in the middle. And it was
Oh,
like
Pong. I think it was just called Pong.
it's called
Yeah, but you're
fucking
just
Biff
showing.
tennis. Fucking stupid thing.
You're showing your age there, mate. Well, I'm hardly fucking a computer biz. How long did it take us to get this sussed?
Man, the fact that we tried to set this up earlier on the phone, like fucking ta-da.
Yeah, it was probably wasn't a good idea that we were trying to figure out why this wasn't coming up well.
Suppose we shouldn't really be
And
giving the fucking all the secrets when the fucking first recording of this. Anyway, what's this shit come out on? Are you gonna put it on Spotify or YouTube or what the fuck? Or are you just gonna archive
mate,
it and then put it on and knock one out over it? In which case, if you are, just tell me you're gonna delete it. I don't want to know.
how am I going to knock one out over this? Like, at what
I don't
point?
know.
Oh god, oh, this isn't going to last. This is going to be an absolute disaster. We're going to get sued. There'll be liberals protesting outside our front doors.
I think we should
I don't know.
probably treat this as maybe a test podcast,
Nah, man, you've just got to go fucking.
or we
You just
just
got to
go
jump.
fuck it and stick it out.
Exactly, we're jumping in with both feet, completely blind,
Yeah.
not knowing a single thing.
So
I have
basically, that's
no
it.
idea. I have no idea about any of this. I'm not gonna lie. I don't have no fucking clue what I'm doing at
Basically,
all.
quick disclaimer message here. He doesn't know what he's doing. I don't know what I'm doing. See, if you're offended by that, fuck it. That's your hang up. It ain't ours. You're just a
Exactly.
nosy bastard listening into a conversation. And if you want to
That's
do that
exactly
and
what.
not be offended, listen to the fucking Cool FM breakfast show.
Yeah, and those cool FM bastards never called me about the cash call, so fuck them.
I hate that. It made me feel like a reader of Hello magazine. It's like
I
you're
done it for the first
eavesdropping
time
into
ever.
a conversation.
Well, do you know what? That's kind of what this to be. Is I think it's just natural. Like I'm not a fucking interviewer or a fucking journalist or anything like that. It's like I want this just to be us boozing
Yeah.
and fucking whatnot. and
We
have
could
any
have a
yarn.
serious segment. It's like, and not for the serious segment. So, when you're throwing an overhand right, over the top of the glove, how does the ankle rotate in line with the hip and the shoulder to like create that perfect punch through the guard?
I don't know, mate. I just kind of wing it at the cunt and hope it knocks him out.
There you go.
There you
Marvin
go.
Hagler, School of fucking boxing there. Head off.
I'm marvelous Marvin Hagler. I just try to fucking spark him every time. Yeah, man. Well, we'll have to do that's one thing I want to do is try and get like not exactly like sections, but like do a proper, not like Iran and Craig fucking banter booze chat, but like an actual chef one where you fucking enlighten the world in the ins and outs of what it's like to be a chef and in the kitchen. Because I asked you the other day, when you see all like Gordon Ramsay bollocks, like how accurate is half that shit and how much of it is just fucking.
Oh, some of it's fucking proper. Like whenever, like, especially it depends like what format you're on in his. Of whether it's him and Hell's Kitchen, like cooking competition.
See, that's what I want is we'll get like in the proper like chef stuff and see if we can get like, I don't know, if either of the two of us know anybody of any interest. Like if you know people about, like you're into your history, so if we can have like a history kind of one, and we could have like, or if you know someone who's like a fucking expert in a specific part of history, like Second World War, First World War, fucking Vietnam, something like that, where we'll just sit and we'll discuss that, and that's all I want it to be. See if we can get any other interesting console and things like that. Like, it'd be good to get Ryan on, get James, um,
John Bailey. Fucking have to get
John
John Bailey
Bailey,
on.
because John Bailey, because he wouldn't have to leave the house. Also, I said to you, sorry, John Bailey is the only person I know who gets full named. I don't know anybody else. I've never called him John. He only gets John Bailey.
Yeah,
I
why
don't
the
know
fuck
how.
does that happen? I think it's because we all know too many Johns. So it's just like you have to
Well,
differentiate. It's like,
he gets Bailey the old time, but he's the only person I know who gets John Bailey. He gets full named. I don't know. It's fucking weird. Like, so we'll get that cunt on. You know, as long as he's not fucking cabbaged or something like that. You know, I don't know. We'll just try and make it interesting and funny. That's all it's supposed to be. It's just supposed to be a laugh and a bit of crack and pretty chilled. And, we can laugh, we can rant, we can do everything in between. Offend a lot of people, probably. But, that's it. Really? I don't know. It's not a whole lot to it, I think. Drink beer, talk shit. Pretty sure I've mastered that. Is that you gone again, you dickhead? You're an absolutely fucking disastrous person. How the fuck do you keep losing your connection here?
because my phone keeps cutting out because it goes off after 5 minutes. It goes to sleep. And
Yeah,
you called me,
you
you called me a disastrous person.
yes, because that's what I
You
get called a good bit of the time. I
coming from the
understand why.
man the last night up at Ryan's house, whenever like they had to explain to you the difference between a fucking washing machine and a fucking freezer.
Right? They
So
didn't have to,
fuck
they
off.
chose to. I do know the difference between a washing machine and a freezer, just to clarify that. But
Oh, do you want to tell a
Ryan did.
taxi story?
I still don't think that was my fault. The taxi story was that I tried to book a taxi to Ryan's, and the taxi went straight to Ryan's. And I was like, "Did you order a taxi?" I don't know why he didn't go. Stop fucking laughing already. I don't know why he didn't go. Fuck, Ryan must have ordered that, but it came here first. So he went no, and just sent it away. And I'm like, I phone up and I'm like, I ordered a taxi. And I went, well, you got a taxi? And I'm like, well, where to? It's like Melrose. And I'm like, I didn't know the fucking my house and then on the Melrose.
Mate, when you phone a
And it
taxi
was,
and go, "Could I get a taxi to my house?" I don't think they have fucking GPS. Like,
but didn't fucking say my house. And I'm not going to give it's the fucking internet, mate. You can give your address out like that. I'm not a complete fucking dickhead. But it was then eventually did pick him and Jill up. And the first thing he said whenever we got in the car was like, can you not order a fucking taxi?
oh,
So
that's amazing. Remember, night like
it's
I met Bret Hart, or well, Bret Hart met me.
That was my 21st birthday, and I was concussed as and drunk as fuck.
Mm.
And you
What
sank my beer whenever I got to meet him. I was like, I had like half a pint left. I'm like, here, mate, hold that. I'm going up. I'm getting the fucking shit signed. I look over, and you're fucking necking my beer.
shouldn't have left it in my custody, mate?
Yeah, no, that was my first mistake. But it was also that led to the very funny story where you're only allowed to get like two things signed, and Ryan had a couple of things. Like, and he's like, here, take that book. I want to get it signed for Jillian's dad for Christmas. So
Oh, was
could you
this
make
a
it out the
classic
tenant?
story?
He's like, yeah, can you make it out the tenant? I'm like, fucking tenant, that's a weird fucking name. He's like, it's like tenants, but without the S. And I'm like, bingo, I've got you. So I go up to fucking Bret Hart, talking to Bret Hart. And he's like, here, could you make that out the tenant? And I'm like, aye, it's grand. He's like, that's a weird name. Is it an Irish name? I'm like, I have no idea. He said, well, how do you spell it? I'm like, well, Tent. And so he's
Fucking
fucking
brilliant.
signing away. I look over, you're necking my beer.
Mm.
I go back, he grabs my fucking sunglasses and he writes on it to tent, not tenant. But I had no idea what this was going on. By the way, I had a concussion from sparring the night before, so my brain was like fried from getting punched in the head more than I should have. And also, we've been doing a good bit of boozing
It was the fact
by
that
this
that night
stage.
during that fucking when he was having this whole sort of telling people about like the Montreal screw job, and then I passed out, and then the guy like kind of shoved me and woke me up because he thought I was trying to like nosh him off.
Yeah, it was very weird. So it was whenever I got the book back to Ryan, and he's like, mate, why does this say to tenant? And I'm like, what? It's like, his name's Tenant. You got him the right tenant. And I'm like, what did you tell him the name was? I said Tenant. He got me to spell it and everything. I'm like, well, what did you spell for him? Went, okay, I might have spelled tent for him. Right, I admit I'm a bit of a dipper, and I couldn't spell that. And I still have the sunglasses, the shades, the Bret Hart pink shades to this day
Tell you what you
that
don't
say,
have: the Bret Hart Time program, which I gave to you 3 times, took it off you 3 times, then give it to John Billy for his birthday.
yeah, that's right. It was my birthday. There on my birthday. You were fucking steaming and high because you were a wee bit fucking ropey whenever we picked you up at Ryan's.
A wee
Got
bit
there.
ropey. Man, I get in your mum's car and was freaking out. Like I just tried to
Yeah,
fucking hide and was
exactly.
just like, please don't talk to
Exactly.
me.
You couldn't half tell. And then it was like, right, and you just kind of turned to me like mid fucking Q&A and went, here, man, there you go. Happy birthday. I was like, oh, fuck me. Cheers. And then someone, who picked us up? Nathan. Did Nathan pick us up or Nathan's girl come and pick us up and we went back to Ryan's? And there's a point like in the car or something like that. And or there was a point in the Q&A. Again, you went, here, mate, happy birthday. And I'm like, oh, right. And it was Ryan turned to me. It's like, did he give you that again for your birthday? And I went, yeah. And he went, he's a fucking dick. But yeah, people took that whole wrestling thing way too fucking seriously.
Yeah. It was.
People
I
were
always
taking it.
remember that when he walked in, and all you could hear was murmurs of he's got the jacket on, and it's like, what the fuck? But did you ever see
Oh,
that photo?
yes,
Oh,
Ryan sent me the link to the photos,
yeah.
and you're just like
I don't
not
give a
exactly with it.
shit at that point. I'm just like,
Well,
right.
you just look wiped out. It, so you do. You just look like you're on something,
He's like, do you want
and
to
you
come
were,
round for
which
a
is.
photo? And I was like, I read your book. You booked loads of people. And he just sort of looked at me and he was like, what?
I read your book. You fucked loads of people. That's legendary. I can't
And
believe
then
you
just
said
went
that to
over and
Bret
was
Hart.
just like, shook his hand and just stared straight down the camera and went, cheers, fella. Later. And then just stumbled off again. I was
And then I
so
went, oh,
fucking high that night.
yeah, because then I went, yo, dickhead, you fucking sank my pint. And that was also the
I have
first
no
time.
recollection of that.
No, because that was also the night, the first time, first of two, probably, that I saw you fall asleep standing up. That was the first time I'd ever seen you. You were out for the count, but like still standing.
Sure.
And
What
it
did you
was,
call that crazy shit Ran had for a bit? The
Wait,
banned it because
that.
a woman had like a fucking heart attack running the marathon.
Oh no, I was fucking loads of people had heart attacks. That was the original like pre-workout. It was called Jack 3D,
Yeah.
and like
He
it was
gave me a glass
basically
of
like
that one night and I knocked it and went to sleep on his living room floor. And he
mate,
was like,
it was.
"What is
I remember
wrong
that
with
night
you?"
because I was working. I came round and the UFC was on, and we stayed up for it, and we thought we'll take some pre-workout to help, like stay up. So fuck, I was like, right, take a scoop. Like fuck this, I'm taking half a scoop. Ryan took half a scoop. I can't remember whether you got a full scoop or half a scoop, man. But in like 20 minutes, your head was in your top pocket. He's like out for the count. I mean, I give a couple of people left home that night, and I remember laying in my bed at like 4 o'clock in the morning, staring at the ceiling, just fucking wired. I mean, I almost ran to fucking Dublin and back just to burn off some energy. Oh my god,
See,
I was just
it's
fucking buzzing.
psychological, man. It doesn't
And
fucking.
you were just like fucking out of it. Like within like 20 minutes, you were asleep. It was impressive actually. Like people have had fucking heart conditions from taking this shit, and you managed to fall asleep on it. That's admirable.
Fuck knows the amount of shit I pumped into my system before that fucking went into it.
So that was fucking small time. It was like that's why it became illegal. Well, I don't think it became illegal. I think they changed the formula. Um, but
See,
like the
that's it.
original Jack was basically like taking speed. So it was. And Ryan was the only person I knew who had it. And Ryan gave it to me a couple of times, and it was like you got literally high in the stuff. You were fucking busting. I remember
I
me and
don't
Ryan
think you
taking it
did.
like going to training, and it was like, man, fucking wired. Surprised neither of us had a fucking heart attack on it.
I think it was a placebo, man. I don't think it like actually happened. Either that or
Nah,
I
man.
just like drank so much booze and smoked so much weed. It was just like fucking nah.
Yep, I
It's not
think
even.
that was what it was. Because anytime that me and Ryan took it, mate, we were fucking buzzing from it. So we were absolutely buzzing from it. You know,
Yeah. You,
drugs are for mugs, but like that was pretty fucking
you know,
cool.
it was either where I was going to end up conscious, it's unconscious of some sort. Of some sort of way, I was just going to end up like, nah, I'm done. I'm out of here. Fucking, that's it.
It's pretty standard to be honest. So it is to see you get to the point where you're just like fucking clunked out somewhere.
Yeah. Then
At least
I
you're
don't
in
do
the
that as much now.
well, no, I'd like to think so. Like I'd like to think you're fucking grown out of that. But it was night you told me you fucking fell asleep in like some fucking doorway.
Well, that was the night I get lost in the Holy Land. And they
Just
just kept
decide to
walking
fucking
around in
sleep.
circles for hours. So it was just like, well, I've been to like 3 different Halloween parties.
Mate, you are so lucky you didn't die. So lucky you didn't die. That's unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. Like, if you've been drinking that much that you're clunking out in some doorway in some fucking student housing area, how you didn't die is beyond me. See if you fucking cut out again. You're an absolute dick. How do you keep cutting out? You don't fucking
I'm,
learn.
I'm probably back again.
You're back now. Yeah, we'll have to,
Because I
right, we'll
keep
start
staring at the
wrapping this up.
wall while reminiscing about these random stories. Right, fucking, we went to darts one night and I get so fucked up at it. Well, it was actually really fucking high before I went. But then we went and I was just like necking pints. And my only worry was walking down the stairs with the round and falling. So it was like taking every stair like so simply. Thankfully, we were only about a third of the way down. You couldn't see fuck all. So anyway, I come outside and Ram was like, "Hold on, I'm away to do something. I'll be back." And this is all I'm getting all this information like after. So I'm obviously standing there for 5 minutes and went, "Bastards, ditched me. I'm away." Started to walk through Belfast and get lost. I think I was heading up like the Shore Road or somewhere. So I started running and was running past these groups of people like on the street corner, like hey, the fucking what fucking and this fucking fucking legging it up the street. I could hear this traffic, but was thinking I need to find the main road to back into Belfast because I'm down all these weird fucking side streets at this point. and climbed up a fucking embankment. Nothing happened. Went right, just keep going. And all the while, I'm going further and further out of the city centre. Heard this noise, climbed up an embankment, got onto the motorway. So I started walking down the motorway. Bear in mind,
Oh, for
at this
fuck's
point,
sake.
there is no fucking hard shoulder. It's like a crash barrier, and lorries are flying past me, and like I'm trying to walk on like a curbstone,
Oh, for fuck's
right?
sake.
So I
How,
kept going,
how have
and
you not been killed? How honestly have you
oh
not died
no, it gets better.
doing.
You know the bit where like you're coming across, and you can either go on over the flyover. It'll take you on the Belfast or the Sydenham bypass,
Ah,
or you can flick off that off step down onto like where it takes you down to the Odyssey.
yeah,
I
D
had
Street and
to
all.
I had to walk down that, basically holding on the barrier, trying sideways while the lorry. This is the middle of the night. This is like 1 in the morning, so it's just the lorries heading to the docks. These
Oh,
things
Jesus
are
Christ.
fucking flying past me, like blasting horns and shit. And at one point, it was like, only I had to go to work the next morning. I probably would have just found a hedge and just curled up and went to sleep. Get
That's
down.
very responsible of you that you thought, no, I have to get to work. I have to make it home. I can't sleep in a hedge. That's very responsible.
Yeah, even in that state. Anyway, managed to get into Belfast. I was walking down through. No, it's if you're going towards like not Cornmarket, like how long would it have been? Yeah, it was down towards the garage. Seen a whole pile of
Yeah.
hoods having a fight. So started like running up these alleys and going like full on fucking Andy McNabb and Bravo to your zero mode, like just dodging people, just trying to find a taxi depot. And my god, it was so bad. Get home, fell over, smacked my head of a cabinet and split it. Went to sleep, get up the next morning, still very fucking drunk, and went into work at like 7 o'clock. Yeah, because I was in 7 because I had to go in and make the scones. And literally, I woke up like David Boy. I just had like a big red like line over my face of dry blood, and the world's worst hangover ever. So I just smoked the spliff and fucking went to work. And then just high. My boss was like, "Stay in that room and don't say anything to anyone for the next 4 hours." He's like,
Sounds fair, to be honest. That makes sense. Just
"Okay."
imagine what you can do, mate. See, when you've got like work and things like that. See, no matter how shit faced you are, and you're like, you can oddly still get it together when you absolutely have to. It's actually impressive.
Yeah, it's like I don't know. It's just that kind of professionalism. It's like not eat out to help. I think like my work day was starting at 7 in the morning, finishing 10 o'clock at night. I was going home, knocking beers till like 12 o'clock. Going home, or getting going to bed. My alarm was going off at 5:30 the next morning, and all of a sudden you're in there again, just looking at people going, "Really? I have to fucking do these for the next few days." Fucking hate these people.
Oh, it's a fucking bad crack, mate. But here, we should start to like to wrap this up because we've done almost an hour and a half here, and it's not too bad, and we've only offended most most things.
No,
There's a
fuck,
few we've left
fuck them on the
untouched.
horses enough.
We've done all right.
Yeah.
It's been good crack. That's all I want us to be. It's just a fucking yarn.
Here's the disclaimer. We probably should have put it in the start. If you're offended by this, turn it fucking off.
Yeah, we've done the disclaimer, sure.
Yeah. We'll do an end disclaimer. Turn it off.
Yeah, we'll do an end disclaimer. It's like, do you know
Don't
what?
be a
Let's just
fucking keyboard warrior, man. I love Jaden Simmons. His ma was in the Holocaust. It's like no one brought that up apart from me until now, and that was just to prove a point. So fuck off.
Why did you have to go there? Why did you have to go to the Holocaust?
Because
Of
you
all
know that's
things.
what people's gonna do. They're just like they all love like sort of sitting going, did you hear
Was
about
that
this?
not that thing called, is it Goodwin's Law? As soon as you bring up like Hitler or the Nazis, you instantly end the argument because you've run out of so invalid points to bring up that that's what you've been left, as like your excuse almost. And it's like, right, you clearly have nothing to fucking debate with properly. So it's ended the debate and the discussion.
That's only if you're not
I'm pretty
clever
sure that's
enough.
what is Goodwin's Law. Yeah, I mean, you should look that up. Goodwin's Law. Telling you.
I'm actually
Have
going
you
to
heard it?
investigate this.
Mate, that's the power of Google. Just Google Goodwin's Law. Telling you. So yeah, man, that's us about to do an hour and a half here. So we'll wrap it up because I'm out of beer. I need a fucking piss.
I actually need to
And
piss myself. Plus, I've actually still got. Oh no, I've like still got a 12 pack of Roxy and a bottle of water and
No, man, I've fucking, where
32
was that?
cigarettes.
I even brought up an extra fucking tin as like a ration, and that tin is now, well, it's been empty for a wee while, and it is slash. So we'll look to wrap this up. It has been super mega fun times. It's been
It
good
has
crack,
been.
and we will do this in the. I have no fucking idea when next. I don't know.
Huh?
We'll just sit, we'll chat, we'll put the world to rights. We'll fucking, because there's a lot of fucking wrong shit going on in the world, and somebody needs to put it right.
Do
And
some other podcasts with like other people, and then just give me a shout when you fancy a controversial one, and we'll turn up and
yeah,
we'll
mate,
talk
we'll do
about
that. That's,
Graham Norton.
yeah. Graham Norton. Yeah, that's it. We just make it random. That's what it is. Just supposed to be a
Yeah.
bit of a fucking laugh and a bit of crack. So yeah, we'll sit, we'll booze, we'll yarn, we'll do whatnot, and ah,
Yeah.
we'll start to
Anyway,
end it.
edit this
So
shit
yeah,
and then tell me what like.
I don't mate edit this. Mate, do you think I have the fucking editing skills here? I know, see for a computer, I can Google shit, YouTube shit, and get porn, and that's about it. I don't even know how I'm doing this. There's just a big red
That's
button that
pretty
says
much
stop
my
recording.
repertoire of like internet use as well. It's
Yeah,
just
tell
like
me about it.
Google, YouTube, and Rumble.
Yeah, I've just got a big red button that says stop recording. So we will click that very soon and end this shite, and we'll let the good people who are listening to this
Yeah. Anyway,
get
send me a
on.
link to it so we can listen back and then we can do this, but we'll do it again.
Yeah, mate, we'll probably figure out because I have no idea what this is going to be like for fucking audio or how this is going to sound like to other people.
Yeah.
So
The fact that my
I'll get
phone kept cutting out, so I disappeared. Anyway,
that as well, mate. There's like 3 times I thought about ending this because I'm like, right, well then, do you know what? We'll just fucking end it then, and then you like come back in the room, and I'm like, motherfucker. So
I just
we'll
keep
also need
people
to
on
do
their
this.
toes. Anyway, some fucking bird just messaged me from Tinder, so I have to go and try and fucking get laid now.
That sounds fair. That's
You know,
understandable.
you have to be nice to them.
I'm gonna go for a slash and get more beer. But anyway, man, good chatting to you, and this has been a very eventful podcast.
Yeah, number one.
Hopefully, the first of many
Yeah,
until we get fucking shut down in the first episode.
yeah.
But anyway,
Until
man,
from the
I'll let you
debut,
get on.
until from the debut disaster. Ta ta.
Yes, take care. Ta ta for now.
And you,
Cheerio, bye.
toodles.
Yes, mate. Catch you later.
Bye.
Have a good one. Done.